What's good? It's Andrew from percussion.com. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about whether or not the guitar is a string or a percussion instrument. This is a question that people ask on Google a lot. And put simply, a guitar is a stringed instrument because guitarists, how you create the sound is you pluck tightly wound strings that are tuned to a specific pitch to create melodic rather than percussive sounds. Despite the fact that you can use it as a percussive instrument, either through palm muted notes or by slapping the body of the instrument, it's still a stringed instrument at the end of the day. But as I touch on in my article here at travelingguitarist.com, it's that the guitar is a stringed instrument at the end of the day, even though it can serve more than one purpose. If you contrast this with the drums or any other percussive instrument, percussive instruments, you can't really use them melodically. There's no way to slap a drum to a specific pitch. The pitch is always the same, although it can change the sound slightly depending on how you hit the drum. But for the most part, drums are not melodic. They're almost entirely percussive compared to a guitar, which can be used both percussively and melodically. So that's the answer to that question. So in order to, let's say you do want to use the guitar percussively, there's a number of different ways that you can do it. And I use the examples of Antoine Dufour and Eric Mongrain and Andy McKee as examples because I find that they're my favorite percussive guitarists. So that's why I included them as examples. You can see Antoine Dufour right here. Check out his YouTube channel. He's great. I love his stuff. I've purchased all his tabs. Well, not all of them, but several of them. And also, I like his music a lot. I think it's really good. But you can kind of see one way in which he's introducing the percussive element, which is to slap the strings with his thumb. So you can see this in the tablature down here with this X. That X is like him slapping on the string with his thumb on the beat or in between the beat as a way of keeping time in between playing these notes melodically. So that's kind of what's special about the guitar is that you can introduce a percussive element to it, unlike the drums, which is almost entirely used for percussive sounds. Another way to create a percussive sound with the guitar is to actually slap the body of the guitar, which you can see in Eric Mongrain's video right here for the song Verso. So he has his guitar tuned to the notes of a specific chord, and then he strums these strings once and then fingers the notes of the chord with his left hand, but then slaps the body simultaneously as like a percussive instrument. Personally, I think Eric Mongrain is probably the best at this. I'd say, his song Verso, I think that's probably the best example I've ever seen of someone introducing the percussive element through, through slapping the body. I think he's really good at it, probably the best. And there's other ways of introducing the percussive element too, which is by using harmonics. Now, when you use harmonics, as Antoine Dufour does in Spiritual Groove, that means that he also has his guitar tuned to the notes of a chord. And then what he does is he slaps the 12th fret with his finger, and that plays the notes of the chord, which rings out, but it also adds a percussive element at the same time. So I would say those are the three primary ways that you can create a percussive sound with the guitar. So just to go over them once more, it's like you use your thumb to mute one of the strings in between notes. That's one. Then the next way is like slapping the body in between the strumming notes of the chord, and then also the harmonics. So that's three ways of doing it. But with all that said, even though a guitar can be used in a percussive way, the sole purpose of the instrument is to create melodies through plucked, vibrating strings rather than percussively. But you can do both. In a more stylish, technically proficient player can combine both in a really interesting way. And I think that's one of the reasons why the guitar is so special. There's a lot that can be done with it. It's a very versatile instrument, can be used for pretty much anything, to be honest. But anyway, that's all for this video. I hope that answered your question. Make sure you like and subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.